Hello, I'm Scott Sneath from BluChip, and today I'm joined with Molly Slowe. Molly is currently a financial advisor at Morgan Stanley and was a member of the Boston College women's hockey team. Welcome, Molly.
Thanks, Scott.
So, Molly, tell us a little bit about your career path once you graduated from Boston College.
Yeah, I started my career in the financial services industry in 2019, which has ultimately led me to Morgan Stanley Wealth Management, where I am today. I'm a financial advisor at Morgan Stanley, where I support clients at every stage of their lives, whether they're in wealth accumulation phase, retirement, or transferring assets to the next generation.
Excellent. So, 4 years playing hockey for one of the best programs in the country. Um, and then before that, playing in high school at a super high level. What did you bring forward in terms of being a student athlete as a professional in your career path and kind of your day to day activities?
Yeah, I think there's many ways that my background as a student athlete has really helped mold my career. A few I think of immediately. One, having a constant competitive mindset. I'm someone who's always wanted to win, whether it was a game of chess growing up against my sisters or a competitive round of golf now against my dad, or even thinking back to while I was at BC playing in numerous championships. I think naturally that's translated to having a commitment to excellence for my clients, always doing right by my clients and being proactive, setting expectations, and really helping clients, reach their end goals. Um, Similarly, I think handling pressure, staying even keeled. I remember my coach at BC, Katie Crowley, anytime that we were down in a game, she never would yell at us or really let her emotions take over. She'd always tell us to stay calm and play our game because, ultimately we were well prepared. And so just like in high stakes hockey games, we're making sound decisions under pressure during volatile markets or during major life events for our clients. Most of the time, while clients are here panicking, wanting to do the opposite of what we're saying, we're there to make sure that they feel informed, educated, and prepared. Another one, control the controllables. I had a coach that used to tell us this all the time in hockey. You can control the refs. You can't control the refs or the ice conditions or the fans in the stands, but you can control how hard you work, how you show up every day and support your teammates. And similarly, I can't control what the market's doing on a daily basis, but I can control how my clients are invested, how educated they are around the markets, and how responsive and proactive that I am with my clients and setting clear expectations along the way. And, then to take it big picture, I was, constantly setting goals for myself as an athlete growing up and through college. And now my responsibility as a stewardess of client assets is to ultimately help them properly save and strategize for retirement using goals based processes with a long term vision. So helping them make good financial and investment decisions along the way.
That's great. So competitiveness, pressure, control what you can control, and probably as you said, the most important overall is setting goals and then understanding what it's going to take to achieve those, and whether that's individual goals, team goals. Um, Great advice, and I think real key takeaways for student athletes who are going into the professional workplace. So the last question I have for you, Molly, is if you could kind of go back in time and give yourself some advice, kind of the if you knew then what you know now, what would you go back and kind of tell yourself? And it could be at any period of time, but you kind of look back and like, oh, I should have thought about this differently, but I didn't know how to think about it. What was maybe one of those things?
Great question, Scott. I think I would tell myself to seek mentorship and use my network. If I've learned anything in the beginning of my career, it's that most people do want to help and are open to a conversation if you just ask for it. And you never know what that conversation can lead to. So seek out mentors and use your natural network That would be some advice I would give myself.
That's great advice. Well, thank you so much for speaking with us today and sharing your experience, both from a sports standpoint as well as a professional standpoint, and how those two things have melded together. And then, yeah, the notion of networking mentors. I think you could never talk to enough people and get enough perspective um, to help sort of shape what you're going to do moving forward. So, thanks so much for taking the time today. We really appreciate it.
Thanks for having me, Scott.